go to the next one.
I think I've ever been more than 12-hour shifts.
The gentleman over here, tell him that time.
Lubbock is a special place. It's got that West Texas feel to it. It's really a progressive agency. It's part of where I could see being a team, working with other team members to make a difference and impact the community in a positive way. And so when there are police chief openings, I look at fit. You know, would that agency be a good fit for me? Would I be a good fit for them? And Lubbock checked a lot of boxes. It's a very special place. I actually went to school here in 90 and 91, so I'm familiar with it. I've got actually a couple of coworkers that retired to Lubbock and another friend that lives here, so very much have some connections. We traveled through last summer and stayed here and did a little bit of tours before moving on to the next city, and so it's just a special place.
I'm going to tell you what, I can't think of a better place to come to than Lubbock, Texas. I grew up in West Texas. I know what the people here are like. I know how they treat one another. I spent about 19 years with the department here. Coming back, I see a lot of changes. We still own property here, and my son went to tech here, and my wife still does some real estate work here, so we're back and forth to Lubbock quite a bit. While things have changed, there's still some things that are still the same, and a lot of that is just the friendliness of the people. And I think from what I learned across my career, I'm confident that I can bring those lessons back to Lubbock and help make the department even better.
Lubbock hit a lot of my sweet spots for my desire to be a chief. Size of the agency is important. I've worked in really large police departments, 1,900 sworn, 900 sworn, and sometimes, I mean, they're doing great work, they're doing great things, but you can get a little disconnected with that size. You run into people you've not seen before, you don't know them. Size of this agency, you get to know the men and women, you get to have more of a relationship with them. The work is similar, but that relationship part is really big for me. I enjoy that aspect of policing, and so that was one of the big things. I have a mentor chief, and he had asked me, like, what do you want to do, where do you want to go, and this size was perfect for me. So that was the number one appeal. Size of the city, I've driven around in rush hour, there's cost of living, the neighborhood orientation for everything is really appealing to me. So size of the city, nature of the city. I'll be moving my mother here if I'm fortunate enough to get this job, so medical care was a big deal for me, and I know Lubbock has a good medical system. I love being in a college community. Adds a vibrancy and activities to it. I'm a music lover. I know Lubbock has a good music scene, so there were just a lot of things. We came and spent some time. First week in April, I came here, just my wife and I, to look around and really kind of immerse ourselves in Lubbock, and we just loved everything that we saw. So I put a lot of due diligence into it. A lot of those metrics just hit for us, and I'm excited. I'm hopeful and excited, and hope I'm able to be your chief.
You know, I have family in Lubbock. I've been coming to Lubbock since I was a kid. I've always liked the community. I think there's great people here. Obviously it's growing. There's a lot of challenges, but there's a lot of room for just very positive changes that are happening here. And I think it's a very vibrant place, and I'm really excited to see what happens with Lubbock.
You know, it's a little higher than it probably should be. I would work with the public, with the officers here, with the association, with the staff, to empower them to go out and do their job. And part of that is getting support from the community, getting support from the elected officials, working with the DA's office, working with your other partners, your other law enforcement partners, working at the county, the state, the federal level. You know, and being responsible in our approach to how we address crime, using data so that we have a smart approach to crime. We're working smarter, not harder, and really supporting our staff, making them feel valued, listening to them and what their needs are, providing it, listening to the community and what's important to them, and developing programs and solutions to problems that improve the quality of life for Lubbock.
You know, I know a lot of people in Lubbock, and I think one of the strongest concerns that people have right now is thievery. There's a lot of burglaries and thefts that are going on. Lubbock PD has made some changes, and that crime rate has decreased, especially over the last year. But there's still more work to be done. To me, the only way to be really effective in that is to do better partnership with the communities. You've got to let people feel like they have a say-so, and you've got to let them know that it's important when they see something that's unusual in their neighborhood. They need to call early and not late, and get the police department involved, so that maybe we can prevent the crime from actually happening, or maybe we can catch the people in the act. But either way, more communication with the citizens, I think, is vital. That partnership is what's going to make or break a police department in a community if you're going to have a successful crime fighting program.
Well, the city manager, I had an interview with him yesterday, and he was pretty clear. It's too high and too much of it, and the perception of it is causing a lot of concern with people, and I understand that. Now, the last year, Lubbock PD has made some good progress. It's still not where it needs to be, but it's trending in the right direction. They had reductions in violent crime and reductions in property crime. I want to build on that. I believe that it is still too high, and I understand that. But my eyes are wide open in the sense of the challenges, gun crime being a huge part of it, fentanyl driving a lot of what's going on as far as the violent crime. I know auto theft is a recurring issue in this city, and so I mean my eyes are wide open related to the challenges. I do believe there's some good trending in the right direction that I would just hope to carry forward.
Well, crime in Lubbock obviously is a lot like other places in the United States and Texas specifically. We've got an influx of narcotics, which is unfortunately the catalyst for a lot of crimes that we as police officers deal with. And I would venture to say 90% of the crime we deal with has a direct nexus to narcotics, either the use or trafficking or both. We have to attack it as aggressively as possible. That leads to also the gangs. Gangs are very prolific in this area, as they are in the rest of West Texas. They're the ones that are not only importing the drugs, but also selling them. And with that comes a tremendous amount of violence. So the violence aspect of the crime that you're dealing with in Lubbock, just like we are in Midland, it's directly correlated to narcotics and the gangs. And that's what we have to attack.
Government should be transparent. We shouldn't be operating in a manner in which things are hidden. Obviously, there are protected records for lots of different reasons. It involves a juvenile, it's victim of a violent crime, those type of things. But if we're doing things the right way, we shouldn't have anything to hide.
I think transparency helps you. There are certain things that I think that maybe shouldn't be as transparent. Things that may deal with disciplinary matters under civil service that might be somewhat restricted. But other than that, I think that we should adhere to the Open Records Act for Texas and do our best to make sure that we're meeting those requirements and releasing that information. The public has a right to know what's going on in their community, and I think as long as it's done within that guise, why not? I think it's better for the community to be informed.
I don't think you can be too transparent related to that. Bad news never gets better. Just because I'm not communicating, it doesn't mean it's not there. So, in fact, anybody that works with me will tell you I'm always a bad news first person. I'm an optimistic person, but I don't need to do anything for good news. I need to do things to address bad news. So be really honest with the community, explain why we're doing what we're doing, where they're at, to where they have an understanding of why we're in their community and why we're doing the things that we're doing in their community. There will be times where we make mistakes. We're human. We come from the citizenry of this city, and I'm going to communicate that as well. I'm not going to hide behind that. I'm going to let you know the lessons that we've learned from it and what we've done to correct it, be it a policy, be it discipline, whatever the issue may be. And then I think people will just trust you because they understand that mistakes are going to happen, and I'm not going to hide from that.
Well, obviously, open records is federal law. You have to provide records. Obviously, the AG's office makes a determination on what should be released and what shouldn't, but I have absolutely no issue with being as transparent as possible. Now, unless it obviously jeopardizes somebody's life or an investigation, but the citizens should know what we're doing, and hopefully that'll gain a lot of positive relationships between the public and the police. That's the intention of it.